So let's take a look at actually graphing some of these linear equations we've been talking about. So here I have an example of a linear equation. So I can see the exponents here. We have powers of 1. So if I want to graph this by plotting points, that means I want to make a table of values. So maybe it would be useful first if I go ahead and solve the equation for y. Okay, so what I did there, I went ahead and subtracted the 5x on both sides. Then let me go ahead and divide by -2. Okay, now I'm going to make a table of values here. So let me maybe plug in, I can start with values, say, between -2 and 2, and then go from there. So let's see, I'm going to have 5/2 times -2 plus 5. So that'll be -5 plus 5, so 0. I need more room here, I think. Okay, what about -1? So -5/2, and then 5 multiplied by 2 over 2, that's 10/2. So 5 over 2. Five halves times 1 plus 5. So again, I multiply by 2 over 2. Okay, so let me look at these points that I found. So from the first column, the x is -2, the y is 0. So the point that I actually found there is -2, 0. Next row, -1, 5 over 2. So 5/2 is 2.5. Zero, 5. One, 15 over 2. Let's see, 15 over 2 is what, 7.5? Okay, so that's going to be way up. I mean, I'm drawing a line here, so I bet you, I mean, my next point's 210. Bet you I have enough here. In fact, if I have 2 points, if I know I'm graphing a line, I can actually draw that line in. And so there's that line. Okay, let me solve for y again. X over 3, or a third x. So again, I'm making a table. Now, I kind of think since I have that 3 in there, what if I did something like this? Picked multiples of 3. That way I'll get nice numbers when I plug them in. Can always add to my table if I need to. So let's see, what are my points? -3, -1. 0, 0, and 3, 1. And there's my line. So that's one idea for how to graph a line. I can do it by actually plotting points, as in making a table of values. Another idea is to find the intercepts. So the intercepts, let's say it this way actually. Let's say the intercepts are the points at which the graph crosses the x or y axis. Okay, in other words, they're points where the graph's either here on the y-axis or here on the x-axis. So let's see, let me look back at a couple of these other ones. So this guy has an x and y intercept at the origin. This guy, this would be a y-intercept because it's on the y-axis. This guy would be an x-intercept because it's on the x-axis. Okay, so if my goal is to find the intercept, so let me start with, say, the x-intercepts. Okay, so x-intercepts, I'm here on the x-axis. So the x has changed, but the y hasn't gone up or down. So I have to set the y then equal to 0, because that means I'm actually on the x-axis. So 4/3 x plus 0 equals 1. Divide. Okay, so the x-intercept is 3/4, 0. Okay, what about y-intercepts? Okay, so to find y-intercepts, I'm looking for places here on the y-axis. So on the y-axis, I haven't gone left or right. So I set the x equal to 0 to find points there. Okay, so that'd be 4/3 times 0 plus y is 1. Well, that one's easy. Y is 1. Okay, so I know I'm dealing with a line. Go ahead and draw a straight line through those points. And there we have it. Okay, let's do another one the same way. set my y equal to 0. Divide. Two-thirds, 0. Okay, what about my y-intercept? Set x equal to 0. 2y minus 3 times 0 plus 2 is 0. Y is negative 1. And then connect the 2 points with a line. And there it is. Okay, so here I have a couple of special lines. So the thing is, this line here, it says x is always equal to 2. No matter what y is, x is equal to 2. No matter what y is, x is always 2. So I can pick any y value as long as the x is equal to 2. So look, here's 2, 1. Here's 2, 2. Here's 2, negative 5. So look at the line I'm going to get. So this is a special line. This guy's called a vertical line. That's a vertical line. So lines of the form x equals a number, those are vertical. They go up and down. Versus, I bet you can guess here, in number 2, this one's saying x can be anything. But y is always negative 1. So 1, negative 1, 2, negative 1, 5, negative 1, negative 3, negative 1. So where are these points? 1, negative 1, 2, negative 1, 5, negative 1, negative 3, negative 1. So this is the other special kind of line. This guy's called a horizontal line. Okay, so y equals a number. That's a horizontal line, flat, like looking across the horizon.